The transport ship docked at Galactic Academy Station 7 with a soft hiss, pressed his face against the window, watching alien students move through the massive halls. Some had 4 arms, others floated without legs. A few looked like walking trees. "First humans to ever study here," said beside him. She was grinning but could hear the nervousness in her voice. "No pressure, right?" They stepped off the ship together. The station was enormous, built to house thousands of students from across the galaxy. The ceiling stretched so high that clouds formed near the top. Alien students stopped and stared at the 2 humans. "They're so small," someone whispered in a language the translation device barely caught. "Look at their skin. No scales, no armor, nothing." Tried to ignore the stares. He was 22 years old, studying xenobiology. Earth had fought hard to get accepted into the Galactic Academy. For centuries, humans had been alone in the universe. Then contact came. The galaxy was huge, full of advanced civilizations. Earth was new, primitive, behind in technology. But they were here now. That was what mattered. "Welcome, humans." The voice was deep, rumbling like an earthquake. Looked up and up and up. Commander Vex stood before them, towering at 8 feet tall. His body was covered in thick chitin armor, black and shining. 4 arms crossed over his massive chest. His eyes were compound, reflecting light in strange patterns. He was one of the warrior species that dominated the galaxy's military. "I am Commander Vex. I oversee combat training and survival studies." He looked down at them. "You will be in my classes." Extended her hand. "Nice to meet you, Commander." Vex stared at her hand for a long moment. Then he reached out with one clawed finger and tapped it gently. "Fragile," he said, "like glass." Other students laughed. 2 students stood nearby, nearly as large as Vex. The female was called and the male was. They both looked at the humans like scientists examining insects. "Are all humans this soft?" asked. Her voice clicked and buzzed. "Yes," Vex answered. "No exoskeleton, no natural weapons, weak bite force, poor sensory organs." He began walking and the students followed. "Humans are classified as a survival species. You will attend different classes than our warrior species." Felt his face get hot. Survival species. "Species that evolved to hide and run rather than fight and conquer," explained. His mandibles clicked with amusement. "No offense, human. It is simply biology." They entered a huge training hall. Students were practicing combat. One grabbed a steel bar as thick as his arm and bent it like soft plastic. Another punched a training dummy so hard it flew across the room. "Physiology is superior for combat," Vex explained, his voice full of pride. "Our exoskeleton can withstand plasma fire. We have redundant organs. If one heart fails, another takes over. We heal from injuries that would kill most species. We are the backbone of the galactic military." "Impressive," said. Could tell she was being polite, but her eyes were sharp, analyzing everything. Approached a training station. "Watch," she said. She struck a metal plate designed to measure force. The display showed numbers that made no sense to, but the other aliens gasped in appreciation. 12,000 newtons, someone whispered. "That is incredible." Knew enough physics to understand. That was enough force to break concrete. "Perhaps the humans would like to try," suggested. The way he said it made it clear he was mocking them. "No thanks," said quickly. But stepped forward. "I'll try." "Don't," warned. She ignored him. Was an engineering student, stubborn and proud. She hit the metal plate with her fist as hard as she could. The display showed 300 newtons. The alien students tried not to laugh but heard the snickering. His face turned red, but she kept her expression calm. "Different species, different strengths," she said. "Indeed," Vex said. He was not unkind, but there was pity in his voice. "You will learn much here, but you must understand your limitations. Humans are not built for combat. You survived on your world through luck and hiding." "Actually," said quietly, Earth is classified as a Death World Class 12. The laughter stopped. Vex turned to look at him. Impossible. Death World species develop natural armor weapons size. You have none of these things. I know it sounds strange, admitted, but it's true. Earth is dangerous. More dangerous than Prime? Asked. Where we fought void serpents 50 feet long, where the very air is toxic to most species. I don't know about your world, said. I only know ours. Made a clicking sound that the translator interpreted as laughing. If Earth is so dangerous, why are humans so weak? Opened her mouth to respond, but Vex held up a hand. Enough, the humans are our guests. We will see the truth of their world soon enough. He looked at and with his strange compound eyes. In 2 days we begin field studies. This cycle we study Death World ecosystems. The Council has approved a trip to Earth. Felt his stomach tighten. You're bringing alien students to Earth. Yes, to your Australia region. There is a research facility prepared for us. Vex tilted his head. You seem concerned. I'm just surprised, said carefully. We have studied Death Worlds before, Vex assured him. We have proper equipment and protocols. There is no danger. And exchanged glances. They both knew Earth. They both knew Australia. And they both knew that proper equipment and protocols might not be enough. That night in their assigned quarters, sat on her bed staring at her tablet. They have no idea, she said. No, agreed. He was looking at the same information. Earth's danger ratings, the list of venomous species, the list of toxic plants, the list of deadly insects and spiders and snakes and jellyfish and fish and mammals and birds. Should we warn them? Asked. Vex already knows Earth is classified as a death world. He thinks he's prepared. Set down his tablet. Maybe it will be fine. The research facility is controlled. They'll have guides and safety measures. Maybe, said, but she didn't sound convinced. 2 days later, they boarded the transport ship heading for Earth. 20 alien students, Commander Vex, and 2 humans. The students were excited, talking about the adventure. They wanted to see the so-called death world that produced such weak creatures as humans. Watched Earth grow larger in the window, blue and green and beautiful. Home. He had not realized how much he missed it until now. It looks peaceful, observed, standing beside him. It does, agreed. So where is the danger you spoke of? Thought about the Sydney funnel web spider, about box jellyfish, about crocodiles and inland taipans and blue-ringed octopuses, about everything that had tried to kill his species for millions of years. Everywhere, he said quietly. The danger is everywhere. Laughed and walked away. She thought he was joking. They all did. But was not joking at all. The Australian outback stretched endlessly in all directions. Red earth, scattered trees, and heat that made the air shimmer. The research facility sat like a metal island in the wilderness, its white walls reflecting the harsh sunlight. The alien students stepped off the transport wearing full environmental suits. Thick armor covered their bodies. Helmets with filtered air systems covered their heads. They looked ready for war, not a research trip. Is this necessary? Asked, his voice muffled through the helmet speakers. The atmosphere is breathable. Waited for them at the facility entrance. He was a Korean man in his 30s, wearing simple clothes and a wide hat. His skin was tanned from years in the sun. The suits are for safety, he said, not because of the air. Safety from what? Asked. There are no hostile civilizations on this world, no wars happening. What danger could there be? Smiled. It was not a happy smile. Come inside, we'll explain. The facility's briefing room was cool and comfortable. The alien students sat in chairs designed for different body types and sat in the back watching. They had both grown up on Earth. They both knew what was coming. A woman stepped to the front of the room. She was young, maybe 25, with sharp eyes and quick movements. She said, I'm an ecologist specializing in arachnids. That means spiders. She activated a holographic display. Images appeared in the air. A spider, black and glossy, filled the space above her head. This is a Sydney funnel web spider. It's one of the most venomous spiders on Earth. Zoomed in on its fangs. Those fangs can bite through fingernails. The venom attacks the nervous system. Without treatment, a human can die in 15 minutes. The alien student stared at the image, then started laughing. It was a clicking, buzzing sound. "You are frightened of this tiny creature." Other students joined in the laughter. Even Commander Vex's mandibles twitched with amusement. "How large is this spider?" asked. "The body is about 1 to 2 inches long," said. "Maybe 5 centimeters." More laughter. "Incredible," said. "We fought the void serpents of Prime, creatures 50 feet long with acid blood, and humans fear something smaller than my smallest claw." His expression did not change. She switched the image. A snake appeared, brown and ordinary-looking. "This is an inland taipan. One bite contains enough venom to kill 100 adult humans." "So small," observed. Another image. A jellyfish, translucent and beautiful. Box jellyfish. Its sting causes pain so intense that humans go into shock. Death can occur in minutes. Delicate said. Image after image. Cone snails, blue-ringed octopuses, stonefish, poison dart frogs, mosquitoes carrying malaria, dengue fever, and dozens of other diseases. "This is your danger?" Vex asked. "Small animals with chemical defenses." "Yes," said simply. "On Prime, our smallest predators are the size of your largest mammals. They have teeth like blades and armor that deflects energy weapons." Vex stood up, towering over. "Your world may be classified as a death world, but I see nothing that could threaten a warrior." Stepped forward. "With respect, Commander, classification is based on objective measurements. Number of venomous species, number of apex predators, environmental hazards. Earth scores extremely high on all metrics." "Perhaps for humans," Vex said. "You have no natural defenses. Of course everything seems dangerous to you, but our biology is different." "The venom does not care about biology," said quietly. "Venom is chemistry," Vex countered. "Chemistry designed to affect specific biological systems. Human systems, not systems." Wanted to argue, he wanted to explain, but he could see it would not matter. They had fought across the galaxy. They had conquered dozens of worlds. They saw Earth's creatures as insignificant. "Can we see some of these creatures in person?" asked. "I would like to observe them." "We have specimens in the laboratory," said. She looked at who nodded. "Follow me, but please stay behind the safety barriers." They walked through corridors to a large laboratory. Glass containers lined the walls. Inside each container was a different creature. Snakes coiled in corners. Spiders waited in webs. Scorpions sat motionless on rocks. The alien students pressed close to the glass, fascinated. To them, these creatures were curiosities, interesting biology, nothing more. "They are beautiful," said, looking at a spider. "So small and perfect." Examined a container holding a funnel web spider. The spider was black and aggressive, moving quickly across the glass when shadow fell over it. "This is what you fear, this tiny thing." "We respect it," said. "There's a difference." "Respect?" Laughter clicked through his helmet. "I have fought creatures that could eat this spider in one bite and not notice. I have been wounded by weapons that vaporize flesh. I have survived battles that killed thousands." He tapped the glass with one armored claw. "This spider is no threat to me." The container tipped. It happened so fast. His tap was too hard. The container was not secured properly. It fell from the shelf and shattered on the floor. The funnel web spider landed on its feet and immediately ran. "Everyone back," shouted, "now." The humans moved instantly, grabbed and pulled her toward the door, slammed his hand on an emergency button. Alarms started blaring. The alien student stood confused. "What is happening?" asked. It is just a spider, Vex said calmly. A small spider that has escaped. But the humans were still backing away. Their faces showed real fear, not caution, not concern, fear. I will capture it, announced. He stepped forward, removing his helmet. See, I do not even need protection, it is harmless to me. Stop, screamed, do not touch it. But he was a warrior. He had fought across the galaxy. He was not going to be afraid of a tiny spider on a primitive world. He bent down and reached for the spider with his bare hand. The spider saw the movement and reacted instantly. It jumped onto his hand and bit down. Its fangs found a gap in the chitin armor between his joints. The venom, injected in less than a second. Stood up holding the spider carefully. You see, it barely. He stopped talking. His hand started shaking, just a little at first, then more, then his whole arm. He stepped closer. I feel strange, said. His voice was confused, had incredible pain tolerance. They could ignore injuries that would incapacitate most species, but this was not pain, this was something else. His breathing changed, faster, harder. Put the spider down, Vex commanded. Tried, but his fingers would not work properly. They were spasming. The spider fell to the floor and away, trapped it under a container, but no one was paying attention anymore. They were all watching. His legs buckled. The massive warrior fell to his knees. His breathing was rapid now, desperate. His compound eyes were wide. What is happening to him? Vex demanded. Was already running for the medical supplies. The venom is attacking his nervous system. We need anti-venom, now. His nervous system, Vex looked confused. That is impossible. Neurology is completely different from human neurology. The venom should not. Fell forward. His whole body was convulsing. Foam appeared at his mandibles. Apparently it works fine on neurology, said. Her voice was cold. The medical team arrived in seconds. They had prepared for this possibility, had warned them, but seeing it happen was different from preparing for it. They injected anti-venom. They stabilized his breathing. They monitored his vital signs. And all the while, the alien students watched in horror. The strongest warrior among them, brought down by a spider smaller than his smallest claw. In less than 3 minutes from bite to collapse. Commander Vex stood frozen, his forearms hanging useless at his sides. Impossible, he whispered. Survived direct hits from plasma cannons. He walked through artillery fire. How can a tiny spider? He did not finish the sentence. He did not need to. Everyone in the room now understood the same terrible truth. Earth's danger was not in size, not in strength, not in armor or weapons or advanced technology. Earth's danger was in things too small to see coming and too deadly to survive. The medical bay was designed for humans, so barely fit on the bed. His massive frame hung over the edges. Machines beeped steadily, monitoring vital signs that the alien medics did not fully understand. Stood in the corner watching. He had called in a physician who specialized in venoms, worked quickly, checking displays and adjusting treatments. His face was calm, but his hands moved with urgent precision. His breathing has stabilized, said, but his nervous system is still compromised. The venom spread faster than I expected. How much faster? Commander Vex asked. He had not left side since they brought him in. In humans, symptoms appear within minutes, but we have resistance built from millions of years of exposure. We know the signs. We know to fear it. Pulled up a holographic chart showing neural activity. His system had no preparation, no genetic memory of this threat. The venom acted on him more efficiently than it would on us. More efficiently, Vex's voice was quiet, dangerous. Are you saying it affected him worse than a human? Yes. The word hung in the air like a bomb. Made a sound like grinding metal. That is impossible. Our biology is superior. We are stronger, more resilient, more More vulnerable to neurotoxins, interrupted. Your nervous system is more complex than ours. More pathways, more connections. The venom had more to attack. He switched the display to show a comparison. Human neural patterns on one side, on the other. The patterns were incredibly intricate, beautiful in their complexity. That complexity is your strength in combat, explained. Faster reactions, better coordination, enhanced sensory processing, but it also means more points of failure when something attacks the system directly. Vex stared at the display, could see the realization forming behind those compound eyes. Without the antivenom, Vex said slowly, how long would he have survived? Checked his notes. Based on the rate of deterioration we observed, 20 to 30 minutes, maybe less. The medical bay fell silent except for the beeping machines. 30 minutes, Vex repeated. Once fought for 3 hours with a plasma wound through his thorax. He has survived vacuum exposure. He has endured temperatures that would boil water. The commander looked at its unconscious form, and a spider the size of my claw nearly killed him in 30 minutes. 20 minutes, corrected quietly. 30 was optimistic. Moved closer to the bed. She touched his hand gently with one claw. Will he recover? Yes, assured her. The antivenom is working, but he will need several days of regeneration treatment, and he was lucky. If this had happened in the field away from immediate medical care. He did not finish the sentence. He thought he was safe, said from the doorway. She had been standing there silently, watching. He thought his armor and strength would protect him. As did we all, Vex admitted. He turned to look at him. You tried to warn us. You didn't believe us, said. There was no accusation in his voice, just fact. No, Vex agreed, we did not. Entered the medical bay carrying a tablet. His expression was grim. I've been compiling data, since we need to report this incident to the Galactic Academy. He activated the tablet, and information filled the air above it. Earth has approximately 48,000 species of spiders. Most are harmless, but several hundred have venom that can harm humans. About 30 species have venom that can kill humans. He paused. We now know the number that can kill is higher. How much higher? Vex asked. We would need to test each species to be certain, but based on its reaction, probably significantly higher. Any neurotoxin strong enough to affect humans will likely affect even more severely. Spiders, said. She sounded dazed. Just spiders. What about the other creatures you showed us? Scrolled through the data. Earth has approximately 3,000 species of snakes. 600 are venomous. 200 can kill humans. Again, the numbers for are likely worse. More scrolling. 50 species of box jellyfish, all with potentially lethal stings. Approximately 1,200 species of venomous fish. 170 species of venomous mammals. Thousands of species of venomous insects. Hundreds of thousands of species of toxic plants. Stop, Vex said. Please stop. But continued, his voice steady. This does not include bacterial infections, viral diseases, parasites, fungal contamination, environmental hazards like extreme temperatures, radiation exposure, atmospheric events. He set down the tablet. Earth is classified as a death world class 12. That is not an exaggeration. That is a careful measurement based on objective data. And humans live here, whispered. You were born here, you grew up here, how? Stepped forward. We adapted. We learned. We built immunity to some things and strategies to avoid others. We studied every creature that could kill us and found ways to survive them. You are not stronger than these creatures, Vex observed. No, agreed. We are not stronger, we are smarter. Added, every human child learns about dangerous animals. We teach them from the age when they can first understand language. Do not touch this spider. Stay away from that snake. Watch for these signs. Run if you see that creature. It is part of our culture, our education, our survival. You live in constant danger, said. We live with constant awareness, corrected. There is a difference. Stirred on the bed, his eyes opened slowly, unfocused. What happened? You were bitten by a spider, Vex said gently. You nearly died. A spider's voice was confused. But I am. You are alive because the humans had anti-venom ready, Vex interrupted. You are alive because they knew this could happen and prepared for it. Tried to sit up but pushed him back down. Rest. Your nervous system needs time to repair. I do not understand, said. His voice was weak, so different from his usual confident tone. I have survived so much. How did something so small? Size does not matter on Earth, said. She pulled up a chair beside the bed. Some of the most dangerous things here are nearly invisible. Bacteria, viruses, microscopic parasites. We cannot see them, but they can kill us. Then how do you survive? Asked. Medicine, science, knowledge. We study everything that can hurt us and develop defenses against it. She smiled slightly. You know what antivenom is. It is made from the venom itself. We take the thing that can kill us and turn it into the thing that saves us. That is the human way. Added, we have vaccines against diseases, antibiotics against bacteria, antivenoms against toxins. We have learned to survive not through strength but through understanding. And still, said, thousands of humans die every year from animal attacks, venomous bites, disease. We are not immune. We just know how to reduce the risk. Vex moved to the window. Outside, the Australian outback stretched endlessly. It looked peaceful in the afternoon light, beautiful, deadly. When we return to the academy, he said slowly, I will recommend a complete review of Earth's classification, and I will recommend that humans be reclassified from survival species too. He paused, searching for the right words. To what? Asked. I do not know yet. There should be a category for species that survive through intelligence rather than strength, through adaptation rather than armor, through knowledge rather than natural weapons. He turned back to face them. Perhaps there already is such a category, and we simply never needed to use it before. The galaxy is full of strong species, said, but strength does not mean survival. Dinosaurs were strong, they are extinct. Humans are weak, we are still here. You are not weak, Vex said firmly. We were wrong to call you that. Weakness is fragility without solution. You are fragile, but you have found solutions to everything trying to kill you. That is not weakness. That is. He struggled again with the words. Resilience, suggested. Yes, Vex agreed. Resilience and intelligence and determination. He looked at, still weak on the medical bed. We pride ourselves on our strength, but I see now that true strength comes in many forms. Managed a weak laugh. I was defeated by a spider. The warriors back home will never let me forget this. The warriors back home, Vex said seriously, need to learn what we have learned today. That the universe is more complex than we understood. That danger comes in many sizes. And that the species we dismissed as weak may be the strongest survivors of all. He extended one claw too, not to tap it like glass this time, but to shake hands properly as equals. Took it carefully. The claw could crush his hand easily, but Vex was gentle, respectful. Thank you for saving his life, Vex said. You are welcome, replied. And in that moment something changed. The students looked at the humans differently now, not with pity or amusement, but with respect. It had taken a tiny spider to teach warriors what true strength meant. News traveled fast across the Galactic Academy. By the time the transport ship returned to 7, everyone knew what had happened. A warrior, one of the strongest species in the galaxy, nearly killed by an Earth spider. The lecture hall was packed. Students from every species filled the seats. Some hung from the ceiling. Others floated in specialized gravity fields. All of them wanted to hear the truth. Stood at the podium, looking out at hundreds of alien faces. Stood beside him, calm and ready. They had spent 3 days preparing this presentation. It needed to be perfect. "Thank you for coming," began. His voice was quiet but clear. "We are here to talk about Earth, about why it is classified as a death world, and about what that classification really means." He activated the holographic display. Earth appeared, rotating slowly. Blue oceans, green continents, white clouds. It looked peaceful. "This is our home," continued. 4.5 billion years old. The only planet we know of that has developed complex life like ours. It looks beautiful, safe, but appearances can be deceiving. Stepped forward. Earth has tried to kill humanity for our entire existence. Every step of our evolution was a fight for survival against creatures and conditions designed to destroy us. The display changed. Images of prehistoric Earth appeared. Massive dinosaurs, enormous insects, extreme weather events. 65 million years ago, an asteroid hit Earth, explained. It killed 75% of all species, but life survived. It adapted. It evolved. Earth does not allow weakness. A student raised a tentacle. "But you said humans evolved recently, after the dinosaurs were gone." "Yes," confirmed. "Our species appeared about 300,000 years ago. We were not the strongest, not the fastest, not the biggest. We had no armor, no venom, no natural weapons. Everything wanted to eat us." Joined them on the stage. He was carrying a tablet full of data. "Let me show you what early humans faced." The display filled with images. Saber-toothed cats, cave bears, giant crocodiles, massive snakes, venomous insects. "This is just megafauna," said. "The large predators. But the real danger came from things we could barely see. Diseases killed more humans than any predator ever did." He pulled up charts showing disease statistics. Malaria has killed more humans than every war in history combined. Smallpox killed hundreds of millions. Plague, cholera, tuberculosis. These microscopic organisms were incredibly efficient at killing us. "So how did you survive?" someone asked. "We used our brains," answered simply. "We could not outrun predators, so we built weapons. We could not survive disease, so we developed medicine. We could not withstand the environment, so we created shelter and clothing and fire." Sara entered the stage. She was a combat strategist, young but brilliant. "Let me put this in military terms," she said. "Humans did not win through superior force. We won through superior tactics." She changed the display to show human history. Hunters tracking prey, farmers cultivating crops, scientists studying diseases, engineers building cities. "Every advancement humans made was in response to a threat," Sara explained. "We learned to track animals because they could smell us first. We learned agriculture because hunting was dangerous. We learned medicine because disease kept killing us. We learned engineering because the weather kept destroying our homes." "Earth forced you to innovate," observed a student. "Exactly," Sora confirmed. "And that innovation became our greatest strength. While other species relied on natural advantages, we relied on intelligence. We studied everything, learned everything, adapted to everything." Commander Vex stood from his seat in the audience. "Show them the comparison between and human neurotoxin vulnerability." Pulled up the data. The lecture hall went silent as students examined the charts. "What you are seeing," explained, "is that many Earth venoms affect nervous systems more severely than human nervous systems. Why? Because humans evolved alongside these venoms. Our ancestors who were more resistant survived. Those who were not resistant died. Generation after generation, we built up partial immunity." "But you said thousands still die each year," pointed out. She was sitting in the front row next to. He had recovered but was still weak. "Yes," admitted. "We have partial resistance, not full immunity. The funnel web spider can still kill humans, but we know the signs. We know to seek medical help immediately. We know to avoid them when possible. That knowledge is what saves us." Took over again. Let me show you something most people do not realize about Earth. He pulled up a new set of images: bacteria cultures, viral particles, microscopic organisms. Humans carry trillions of bacteria in our bodies, said. On our skin, in our digestive systems, in our mouths. Most of these bacteria are helpful. They aid digestion, protect against disease, produce vitamins we need. He paused for effect, but many of these same bacteria would kill most alien species immediately. The lecture hall erupted in shocked whispers. You carry deadly organisms inside you, someone asked. To you, yes. To us, they are normal. Switched to another chart. Earth's bacterial diversity is extreme. Our immune systems are incredibly active just to maintain basic health. What we consider a minor infection would be catastrophic to species that evolved on cleaner worlds. A floating species drifted closer to the stage. Are you saying humans are dangerous to us? Not intentionally, said carefully. But yes, potentially. That is why there are strict protocols when humans visit other worlds. We carry Earth with us everywhere we go. Sara stepped forward again. Let me show you Earth's strategic advantage in military terms. She pulled up scenarios: human soldiers in various environments, jungles, deserts, Arctic regions, urban settings. Humans can survive in almost any environment on Earth, Sara explained. From the frozen poles to the hottest deserts, from sea level to mountain peaks, we adapt, we learn, we overcome. Can do the same with proper equipment, Vex noted. Yes, Sara agreed. With equipment. Humans need minimal equipment. We are generalists. We can eat thousands of different foods. We can drink from most water sources after basic treatment. We can survive in temperatures ranging from far below freezing to intense heat. She changed the display. But the real advantage is psychological. Humans are incredibly persistent. We do not give up easily. We plan long-term. We remember grudges. We adapt our strategies. You are describing a dangerous species, someone observed. Yes, Sora said bluntly. Earth made us dangerous. It had to. Only the dangerous species survived. Entered from the back of the hall. She was an ambassador, older and experienced. She walked slowly to the stage, her presence commanding attention. I want to add something to this discussion, said, about human history, about what we had to overcome. She activated a timeline, human civilization from the first settlements to modern day. We fought each other constantly, explained. Wars, conflicts, genocides. Humans can be incredibly cruel to other humans, but through all of that we learned diplomacy. We learned cooperation. We learned that survival sometimes means working together. She looked directly at the alien students. The galaxy sees us as weak, as primitive, as newcomers who do not deserve respect, but we survived things you cannot imagine. Ice ages that lasted thousands of years, volcanic eruptions that blotted out the sun, asteroids, floods, droughts, plagues that killed half our population. Her voice grew stronger, and we survived each other, our own worst enemy. We built weapons that could destroy our entire planet, and we chose not to use them. We created diseases that could kill billions, and we chose to cure them instead. We developed technology that could enslave or free, and we constantly fight to choose freedom. The lecture hall was completely silent now. You mock our soft skin and weak bodies, continued. But our bodies are not our strength. Our minds are. Our determination is. Our refusal to accept defeat is. She turned to Commander Vex. You asked what category humans should be classified as. I will tell you, we are survivors. We are adapters. We are the species that Earth itself could not kill. Vex stood and bowed his head in respect. I understand now, and I apologize for our earlier dismissal of your species. Apology accepted, said, but I do not want apologies. I want understanding. I want the galaxy to recognize that strength comes in many forms, and I want humans to be evaluated on our merits, not on your assumptions. stood slowly, still recovering. "You have taught us a valuable lesson," he said. His voice was humble. "I thought I knew what strength meant. I was wrong. Strength is not just surviving a plasma blast. Strength is surviving a planet that constantly tries to kill you and thriving anyway." Stood beside him. "We request permission to study Earth biology more deeply, to understand what made humans who they are, to learn from your experiences." Smiled, "Permission granted. But I warn you, the more you learn about Earth, the more terrifying it becomes." "We know," said. "We met the funnel web spider. That was enough to teach us respect." The lecture ended to silent contemplation rather than applause. The students left slowly, their minds processing everything they had learned, and stood together, watching them go. "Do you think we changed any minds?" asked. "I think we changed all of them," replied. And he was right. 3 months passed after the spider incident. The Galactic Academy changed in ways both subtle and profound. Walked through the corridors and noticed the difference immediately. Students no longer stared at humans with pity or amusement. They stepped aside respectfully. Some even asked questions about Earth, genuinely curious rather than mocking. "The reclassification was approved," said, reading from her tablet. They sat in the cafeteria, eating lunch. Around them, dozens of alien species shared meals and conversations. Humans are no longer listed as survival species. "What is our new classification?" asked. Grinned, "Apex adaptive species. It is a new category. We are the first and only species in it." Felt a strange mixture of pride and discomfort. "That seems excessive." "Is it?" challenged. "Name another species that survived what we survived and still reached space travel." Could not. He had studied xenobiology for years. Every other spacefaring species had evolved with natural advantages: armor, venom, size, strength, advanced sensory organs, something that made survival easier. Humans had nothing but their brains and their stubbornness. "Commander Vex requested you," said, changing the subject. "He wants to talk about something important." Found Vex in the combat training hall, but the commander was not training. He was watching a holographic display, reviewing footage from Earth. Vex greeted him. "Thank you for coming. I have a proposal for you." "What kind of proposal?" "I want humans to teach at the academy. Specifically, I want you and your colleagues to develop courses on adaptive survival, tactical flexibility, and environmental assessment." Vex gestured to the display. "The spider incident taught me that our training is incomplete. We teach strength and weapons skills, but we do not teach students how to survive worlds like Earth. You want us to teach aliens how to survive death worlds. I want you to teach them how to think like humans, how to assess threats they cannot see, how to respect danger regardless of size, how to adapt instead of relying on brute force." Vex's compound eyes focused on, "Will you do it?" Thought carefully. "Yes, but on one condition." "Name it." "We teach all students, not just warrior species. Everyone needs to learn these skills." Vex extended his claw for a handshake. "Agreed." Meanwhile, was creating something new back on Earth. The research facility in Australia had expanded. Now it served as a training center for alien military personnel. "Welcome to Earth survival training," announced to a group of nervous alien soldiers. They wore full protective gear. They carried advanced weapons. They looked ready for war. "You will not need those weapons," said, pointing to their plasma rifles. "Put them away. They will not help you here." "But the predators," one soldier began. "The predators here do not care about your weapons. A funnel web spider will not be intimidated by a plasma rifle. A box jellyfish will not negotiate. The inland taipan will not surrender." Smiled. "Here, you learn to survive through knowledge, not firepower." The training was brutal, not physically but mentally. Alien soldiers learned to identify hundreds of dangerous species. They learned to avoid rather than confront. They learned to respect the tiny, the hidden, the unexpected. Many failed the course, but those who passed returned to their units as changed individuals. They understood now that survival was not about being the strongest. It was about being the. Back at the Academy, politics were changing too. Stood before the Galactic Council, presenting Earth's application for full membership. "For decades you have Earth's application," said calmly. "You claimed we were too primitive, too weak, too violent, too dangerous to ourselves and others." The council members shifted uncomfortably. They were representatives from the oldest and most powerful civilizations in the galaxy. They had rejected Earth's application 7 times. "I am not here to argue those points," continued. "I am here to present new information. Information about human capabilities that you did not fully understand before." She activated a display showing the spider incident. Collapse, his near death, his rescue by human medicine. This warrior survived battles across the galaxy, but Earth nearly killed him in minutes, not through violence, not through warfare, through nature. Let that sink in. Earth created humans, Earth shaped us, Earth made us who we are. Admiral of the High Command stood. He was massive, even larger than Commander Vex. His armor was decorated with symbols of countless victories. "The Council should know," said in his deep voice, "that the military has begun mandatory training for all personnel deploying to Death Worlds. This training was developed by humans. It has already saved lives." Another council member spoke. "That is commendable, but it does not address our concerns about human aggression. Your history is filled with warfare." "Yes," agreed. "We fought each other constantly. We still have conflicts, but we also developed something you take for granted. We developed the ability to stop fighting." She pulled up more data. Humans created weapons capable of destroying our entire planet. Nuclear weapons, biological weapons, chemical weapons. We could have used them. We nearly did several times, but we chose not to. We chose to build international laws. We chose to create treaties. We chose cooperation over destruction. "After nearly destroying yourselves," another council member pointed out. "Yes," said firmly, "after nearly destroying ourselves. We learned from our mistakes. We are still learning. Is that not the definition of an advanced species, one that can recognize its own failures and improve?" The council deliberated, waited patient and calm. Finally, Admiral spoke again. "I have fought across the galaxy for 30 years. I have seen hundreds of species. I have worked with the bravest warriors, the scientists, the leaders." He paused. "But I have never seen a species like humans. You are weak, but you refuse to break. You are fragile, but you refuse to hide. You face dangers that would destroy other species, and you thrive." He looked directly at the vote to approve Earth's membership in the Galactic Council. Other votes followed. Not all approved. Some species still had reservations, but enough voted yes. For the first time in history, Earth was accepted as a full member of the Galactic Council. Bowed her head in respect. "Thank you, we will prove worthy of this trust." Back at the Academy was giving another lecture. The lecture hall was packed again, even more crowded than before. Students sat on the floor when seats ran out. On the table beside her sat a terrarium. Inside was a Sydney funnel-web spider, the same species that had bitten. "This creature weighs less than an ounce," said. "It cannot speak, it cannot reason, it has no technology, no weapons, no armor beyond its own body." She tapped the glass gently. The spider moved, aggressive and quick. "But this creature represents something important. It represents Earth's fundamental truth. Survival is not about size, it is not about strength, it is about effectiveness." She looked around at the students. Floating species, multi-armed species, species from gentle worlds where predators were rare. Every species here evolved to survive their home world, but Earth is different. Earth actively tried to kill us, every day, every generation, for millions of years, and we won. not by being stronger than Earth's dangers, but by being smarter. Sat in the front row, watching intently. He had recovered fully from the spider bite, but the experience had changed him. He was quieter now, more thoughtful, more humble. "I want to thank for his sacrifice," said. "Without his experience, the galaxy might never have understood Earth's true nature. His near death taught us all a valuable lesson." It was not a sacrifice, it was stupidity. I was arrogant. I thought my strength made me invincible. The spider proved me wrong. He looked at the terrarium. "Now I understand that strength comes in many forms, and intelligence is perhaps the greatest strength of all." The students applauded. It was genuine respect, not polite courtesy. "So what have we learned?" asked. "We learned that appearances deceive. We learned that assumptions kill. We learned that respect must be earned through understanding, not through fear." She smiled at the students. "And we learned that humans are not weak. We are survivors. We are adapters. We are the species that Earth created, tested, and could not destroy." The lecture ended. Students filed out slowly, many stopping to look at the spider one more time. It sat in its terrarium, uncaring and eternal, a tiny creature that had changed galactic history. And met outside the lecture hall, Sora, and joined them. The human delegation at Galactic Academy, now respected and valued. "We did it," said quietly. "We changed their minds." "A spider changed their minds," corrected. "We just explained why." "Does it matter?" asked. "The result is the same. Humans are no longer dismissed. We are no longer mocked. We are respected." "More than respected," added. "We are valued. They want to learn from us. They want our knowledge. They want to understand how we survived." Smiled. "Because we survived what they could not. We faced dangers they cannot imagine. And we did not just survive, we thrived." Sora looked up at the stars visible through the station's transparent ceiling. Billions of stars, billions of worlds, an entire galaxy full of species stronger, faster, more advanced than humans. "They thought we were weak," Sora said. "They were wrong. Strength is not about muscle or armor or natural weapons. Strength is about refusing to give up, about finding solutions to impossible problems, about surviving when survival seems impossible." "That is the human way," agreed, "and now the galaxy knows it." They stood together, 6 humans among thousands of aliens, small and soft and seemingly fragile, but survivors, adapters, the species that Earth itself could not kill. And now, finally, the galaxy understood. The strongest warrior is not the one who can destroy mountains. The strongest warrior is the one who can survive anything the universe throws at them. And by that measure, humans were among the strongest species in the galaxy. All because a tiny spider taught the universe a lesson it would never forget.